Good morning, buddy.
Good,
How you doing?
good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Yep, depending on which time zone you are in,
We cater to all
you
needs.
do. Or whenever you happen to click the button to watch it.
Well, and yes, and that.
Okay, we have a new edition, which I
We
think
do.
we spoke about in the last video. So we have procured ourselves an industrial BGA. We've put it somewhere other than we had intended because it was somewhat flat.
Yeah, some dodgy landscaping has gone on as well.
Yep.
But
Yep. It's all right. You volunteered to do it, so I'm not going to judge you. Or were
volunteered.
Yep.
Or I'll say more like what was volunteered.
Yep.
Yes.
And we now have about 1 million litres of organic fertiliser to shift.
We do.
Between the solid and the liquid form.
So, yeah, they've been producing at a rapid rate of knots.
Yeah. Which is good because I'm still not confident that we've got enough feed.
No, but I think, we're going to be moving through time, aren't we, once we've got this loaded up?
Yes.
So hopefully some more will have processed.
It's not the processing, it's the inputs.
Oh, ingredients.
Yes. Yeah. The processing's mostly happened because the facility has been optimized.
Yeah.
It'd been so much
24-hour-a-day working.
Yep,
very similar to Timberborn.
Been so much easier if you put it this end.
Listen, I know, but I just wanted to hide it away.
But it's a thing of beauty.
It is. You are biased, though.
Maybe a little. Maybe a little. We'll take some out of this one.
Oh yeah, just get in the way.
Yep, that's my plan. Oh, there's something floating in this one as well.
What? Hold on, I'm coming round to look. Oh really?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. That's a bit harsh.
I think it fell off the back of the pickup at one point.
I think that needs a wash.
Probably needs burning.
Oh dear.
It's been sat in there most of the winter.
You remember the Millennial Farmer mower gate? Well, now we've got the Cartec mower gate.
It's not like you'll ever use it again.
Well, no, true. I don't think it's overly practical, is it? It was a good laugh, though.
It was.
And it was a good, funny short.
It was. It was.
That is the manure pit very nearly empty, apart from a couple of little bits.
This trailer is particularly heavy.
Oh, is it?
It's only 60,000.
Is it actually the actual mass then?
Yeah, it's only 60,000 litres. So.
Oh, so it is actual weight.
Yeah, so it's not a cheaty one. I guess the other thing that we added was automatic milk sales.
We did, although we haven't gone through enough time yet for it to kick in, so to speak. But
because we'll
see that in the morning.
$600,000 worth of milk sat in storage.
I don't think we're going to be short for cash, are we?
But we do need to buy 2 new combines, at least.
Exactly, yes. So it's not like we're doing it just to make millions of dollars.
No.
But notice that I've actually changed my currency.
Oh, well done.
I know, I remembered for a change.
I am randomly in the right combination through pure luck.
Yes, although you were in whatever country you were in last night.
I believe I was in America.
You believe you were in America?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I believe I was in America. I was in dollars.
I did clock it, and I thought, but there was far too much going on and far too much cool stuff.
Yeah.
Being discussed we're on about the Terra Life Plus stream. If anybody's wondering,
which should hopefully have eventually finished processing and be available on YouTube by now.
Yeah. Shameless plug.
Yep. 100%. It was really cool. The funny thing is with that stuff is like that one. I think some of it I learn I could at least talk about it about 20 minutes before.
Okay. There were a couple of points last night where I was like, "You've not told me about this. I didn't know this one."
There's a lot of stuff in there that we hadn't spoken about. So
It is going to be cool.
yeah,
Mind blowing, but cool.
oh yeah, and that's the stuff that you guys have seen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the mind blowing cool stuff is only just beginning. It's yeah, it's going to be so complex.
I think that's the daunting thing about it is, I mean, I'm a Maze Plus noob, I guess you'd say. And let's turn that off. And that took me some getting my head round.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that Terra Life is going to be even more so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to. I mean, horse extension and horse extension really, because the badly named horse extension for 19 wasn't really that different in complexity to Maze Plus is now.
Right.
Whereas Terra Life is just so much. And I say that's just the bits that we've spoken about so far.
Yeah.
There's a whole another set of layers which are going to make it even better.
Cool. It's I'd keep mind blowing. That's the only words I have for it so far.
Yeah.
Like you say, there's more to come or more to be shown off at some point. So
it's not going to be for everyone.
No, but
if you if you don't like that style of gameplay, it's not something that's going to be. One thing we did talk about yesterday is it's not something that's going to be easy to edit without breaking things.
Yeah.
Maze Plus, I guess for me it's not easy, not so good to judge, but I find Maze Plus quite easy to edit.
Yeah.
I think editing Terra Life is a whole new level of complexity because there's so many more things that interact.
Yeah.
And it'll be so hard to break, or so easy to break.
And then not know what you've even broken.
Yeah, I think that there'll be some things that are easy to adjust. You know, like if you want to adjust a recipe a little bit, that'll be easy.
Yeah.
But other stuff is going to be really quite complex to mess with.
There'll be people that do it though, you know it.
Yep, I know. I know. And there'll be people that want to play on 1 day month.
Yeah.
So,
but I guess if it is, like you say, hard coded in that.
Yeah, but that won't stop people complaining about it.
No, of course not.
But
no.
yeah, it is. I think that's one of the coolest things that, because we recommend 3 days for Maze Plus, and so many people ignore that recommendation.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I'd have put Maze Plus into Calmsden earlier, I would have gone longer days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not. It's just the amount of time to feeding. That's all it is, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and I'm struggling with that on Greenlands a lot. And that is with 3 day months.
Yeah.
I'm still putting in a couple 100,000 litres of feed a day.
Wowzers.
And that's just the dairy cows. It's
mad.
Yeah. It to be fair, the amount of money they generate is mental.
Oh yeah.
So, and that there's going to be another nice feature is that it should all be properly interlinked so that the economy works.
Yeah. No, it is going to be good.
It's going to be good. Still a long way off.
Well,
but
good things come to those that wait.
Yeah, and it's nice being able to share through the development.
Yeah. I think if doing that as well, people almost hopefully get some level of understanding as to why. Like, take the point about, what we're on about, having a blank map with it. That's not. It's a complete package. It'll be a TerraLife Plus map with it all built in. It's not like Maze Plus where you can add it to practically any map.
No, and the way that Paul speaks about TerraLife is you add the map to TerraLife.
Yeah.
Because with apart from the number of features, just the size of everything the disk space size that comes with everything that is TerraLife, it's actually getting close to the size limits for ModHub.
Oh, okay.
So TerraLife is bigger than a map in volume of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the other way around. It's not, can I add TerraLife to my map? It's, can I add my map to the base that is TerraLife?
Yeah.
And I think the thing that Paul commented in my Discord afterwards was that there will be a lot less, but they will be more higher quality.
Yeah.
So I think we're looking at about half a dozen maps.
Okay.
And they're all slightly different.
Yeah.
And they'll all be set up slightly differently.
Okay.
So I think each map will have a different experience of using TerraLife to some extent.
Yeah.
Which I think will make it, the fact that there aren't hundreds of maps won't impact its replayability.
Yeah, that's true. I guess Maze Plus brings that as well, doesn't it? Because it's of all the different crop types. Oh, proper lag spike then. You can do it like, for instance, like you wouldn't necessarily do if you were playing on Calmsden or Attingham or whatever with Maze Plus. You wouldn't necessarily do alfalfa. And I get, it's kind of lends itself to be. I can't think of the word.
There's a lot of different ways of tackling using it, I think.
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
It's we're getting through this stuff. Yeah, I think it's I've done very little without Maze Plus enabled since it released.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like precision farming for me. That generally it's the sort of thing that I will use almost every time. Because otherwise I miss the features that it brings.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I'm quite looking forward to Attingham and doing the sort of different. It's the stuff I've done the mixes. But then doing it so that we're actually making the different products, like the CCM and stuff, using the productions that are available.
Yeah, for Cartec forage provisions or whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah, Cartec feeds. That just sounds weird.
Yeah.
But it's I'm quite looking forward to it because you kind of get you use it and you use all the different features that it brings, as in like the different stages of tedding and conditioning with mower conditioning and all that lot, and the different feed types and customizing. I've done that, but then I've not used the CCM stuff, and it's just that extra layer of delving into it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think things like that help with a focus as well. just generally what I like to have anyway is, you know, something that you're aiming towards or at, or directs how you play. It's sort of something that I guess kind of mentioned when we were chatting yesterday, that if you just playing the game isn't going to keep people interested in watching necessarily.
No.
Apart from your sparkling personality.
Creep.
Yeah. You know, you've got to try and do something to make it different, to make people want to keep watching, because otherwise, you know, he's going to go and combine that same field again that he did 10 videos ago.
Yeah, and I think that's, if you are going to do longer series, then you have got to do something different rather than the rinse and repeat of what is farming, don't get me wrong, but yeah, to keep it a bit more interesting.
Yeah, and that's what it is about, variety and getting people intrigued to keep watching.
Yeah. No, definitely.
It's sort of why I stopped doing my series on Attingham, because I felt I'd done the things that I wanted to do on there that made it different to what I do everywhere else. Morning. I should have switched on recording, shouldn't I?
It always helps,
I find. Yeah. So
we have...
Carry on.
We've filled the BGA several times now. We're clearly into the second day of Feb. We are into the second day of Feb, aren't we? Yes.
Yep. The last day of Feb. And
we are advancing time because we've just made 700,000-ish.
Yep.
From milk.
And
we can now... should we set the electric charge and everything to sell it?
Yes. Go for it. And then we'll skip ahead to 7.
I think that is a rather good idea.
Yep.
Just advance the time, get a bit of light and get even more cash in.
And then do some work.
Yeah, it might be an idea. Wowzers, there we go.
Cartech Rich.
Cartech Rich. So that is still processing. We can leave it on selling now, can't we, I suppose? Right. I will head back down to the yard and we can crack on.
Yep. We have some liming and some fertilizing to do.
Okay. We have weeds as well.
Yeah, I thought you said we were going to leave those until they were more closer to harvest.
Yeah. Good plan.
I'm not sure. This might be enough lime to do this field. Just seeing if the trailer does indeed have lime in if I need it. So.
Oh, there is also those pallets. I can't remember if they're lime or fert.
Probably fill the spreader up, unless you want to run the spreader, because you did the anhydrous bar last time.
I did, yeah.
So you are more than welcome to take the lime spreader.
What are we on?
So the
55. Oh, we need a truck.
The plan is to do field 8, I think.
Let's have a look.
Jump over. Yeah, field 8 is in pretty bad condition.
Okay.
Just
let's get this.
You're already there.
Oh, sorry,
you're
bringing a truck out. Yes, mate.
Right, I will grab a quad track and the spreader, the anhydrous spreader. Assuming I actually need a quad track.
I'm not sure actually. How am I going to know which one's which?
500 was that only one of them will put stuff in.
That is a fair point.
Nope, I can use the Essex Mobile.
Right. Best way to do this is to probably put the spreader underneath the auger, isn't it?
That would probably help. Where did we leave the anhydrous bar? So organised.
Along those lines.
I always forget that there's not an entrance at the third point down the farm.
Yeah, no, annoying that, isn't it? Oh, it's working now. Hello again. That's quite all right.
I had the vet update, so hopefully we will be getting a dog back later.
Oh, brilliant.
On probably lots of medication, but...
Oh, but at least he'll be home.
Yes. So they're just waiting for yet more test results.
Oh, poor boy.
Yeah, he's covered in needle marks, and he's got a cannula in for a drip. He's yeah, he was looking quite sorry for himself when we went to see him yesterday.
Yeah, I can imagine. But I don't blame him.
yeah, he's had a rough week.
Oh.
I always feel really bad for them, because it's like, it must be so confusing that you take them to see, they know the vets, you take them to the vets, and then you walk off, and they don't see you for days.
Yeah.
We might need the second bar if you're going quick with that lime.
Yeah, 17 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's quite a big field.
It is. I think we might have been a bit
might be
optimistic.
Might be a two-part job.
It might be, I think, yes.
So, yeah, it's been a very interrupty morning, as you can probably tell from the number of times that we've jumped about in the video.
Yeah, we're people are so inconsiderate, aren't they?
Yeah, the world should know by now
what we're trying to do.
That this is important.
It is.
I can't even see the end of the first half of the headland. I can see you. You're way over there.
I can see you as well, yeah.
Way over there. And the nice thing is that both of these are quite frugal with the amount that they use. So,
yes.
We shouldn't run out, hopefully.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, frugal. Not cheaty. Frugal.
Frugal. Well optimized is another one.
A light dusting of lime.
Yes, I think that's the terminology that they used on the other spreader that I like. That is really cheaty. It's like using optimal distribution technology. No, it's cheaty.
It's cheaty, but it's a good way of putting it.
It's how the mod description is written for the industrial BGA. I think is
okay,
through enhanced processing techniques and.
And the slave driver that doesn't let the operatives go home.
Yeah. Make them work faster.
Exactly.
Do more faster.
Yeah.
That's how you do management, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about right. Sounds about right, to be fair.
Yeah. Do more faster. My job is done. I shall now go home.
Yeah.
I remember years ago at work, we were mega busy trying to get a proposal out to a customer. And it was during a period where we had a senior manager who used to like spending company money on like big group outings. Largely because he would get the company to pay for him to have a hotel, and he would get wasted. Very professional. And
absolutely.
We were mega busy, and I think it was the second night of two of us working well into the night. And it got to about 7 o'clock. And it was the day where one of these things was going on. And as this manager walked out of the door to go and get pissed, he was like, make sure you get it finished before you go home.
Oh, that's,
I was like, yeah, nice work.
Inspiring.
It's like the two of us, because we hadn't expected to be there so late, I think we shared 2 packets of crisps for dinner. As we worked to about 9 p.m. to get this.
Almost romantic then.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But, it's like, and yeah, this guy just kind of swanned out the door. Make sure you get it done before you go home.
Nice. Really what you want.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, getting home at like 10 o'clock at night, having expected to be home at like 5.
Yeah. It's not good.
No, wife
It's
had
not
gone
this
to bed,
work.
was quite pissed
This
off, I
working
think.
malarkey is
Yeah,
not. Yeah,
just need
not
to.
what it's cut out to be.
It's not, is it? It's very overrated. But I've yet to win the lottery.
Yeah. They seem frugal with giving that out as well. Frugal
Yeah,
seems to be
frugal's
the
a good word. It's a good
word of
word.
the day.
And yet to hit Daggerwin levels of views either. I could probably retire
Yeah.
then.
Well, yeah, it'll come.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it in a previous one. I'm not sure I would bet on YouTube as a career.
No, I think it must take some serious cojones to have it as a full time.
Yeah, and the only way I
You know what I mean?
think that it works is assuming that you make so much that you can bank years worth of salary every year.
Yeah.
So, if it only lasts 5 years, you've earned maybe 20 years worth of what you would have earned.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I guess there is that, isn't there? You could have one, like, not wrong. You could have one thing go wrong, and it could all just go up in smoke, couldn't it?
Giants could not make FS25.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Giants could go bust, and
yeah.
As much as a lot of people say they would watch someone play something else, when you see people experiment, they don't do as well.
No. No, and that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, we get told, we get informed that you should stick to one element of content. All these people will tell you how to get hundreds of thousands of views and all these subs within 10 minutes and all that lot. Stick to what you know.
The line goes straight up.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah. I think I would be very, very nervous about doing it.
It would take some adjusting. Like if you'd got, I don't know, if you won the lottery and you could afford to do it, or if you'd been made redundant or something and you'd got that backstop, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But fair play to, I guess, the likes of Mr. Sealy P, who I suppose, like, I see 96, 97 thousand subs now. So they're not massive, but in the scheme of like Mr. Beast, do you know that sort of?
Yeah, they're not making enough money to be earning several years worth of salary at a time.
Yeah.
You can look on sites like Social Blade and it will give you an estimate of the income from YouTube, at least. It's quite a wide range. But it gives you an idea of at least ad revenue off of YouTube.
I think the other one is definitely, well, for the UK ones, you just go to Company's House and find their returns.
If you can find the person, I guess.
Yeah, I think, well, it's a company, isn't it? You need the trading name.
I guess it depends how big they get, as to whether they become a registered company or not, or whether they're just doing a self-assessment tax return.
Yeah, true.
I doubt. I don't know. I'd be surprised if someone like Mr. CDP was turning over enough that he was running it as a registered company. Maybe he is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way you make it more viable.
Yeah, possibly. So you can then sort of, you have your expenses, your business expenses, don't you? So.
Yeah, I mean, I know one of my friends used to do contracting work, and he ran that as a business because you can play games with tax.
Yeah, IR35.
So
a lot now.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
No.
I never expect this to turn into that. I expect this to be a hobby.
Yeah, and I think there comes a different level. Surely there comes a different level of seriousness, then, doesn't it? You know, at the minute we've both got jobs. Believe it or not, people.
Yep.
Believe it or not,
We're both actually professionals in
our fields.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you've got to rely on it to pay the bills, assuming you've got bills, this blooming spreader. Sorry, I was having a bit of a crazy steering moment.
Nah, you're getting too enthusiastic with the GPS.
I was, yes. We'll come to that in a minute. What was I saying? Yeah, because then you've got to make it work, haven't you? Whereas at the minute, you, like you say, it's a hobby and you earn a bit off it, whatever, and it, you know, keeps you in clean socks.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you have to rely on it, once you go full time YouTube, it does add a level of seriousness to it, and like think, oh, I've really got to knuckle down
and be entertaining.
And be entertaining, but for a job. That's what I mean. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, I guess
a while off that, anyway.
You know, with people like Mr. CDP, he's just him. Pretty much, you know. But I know, I certainly have days where I don't want to hit that record button. You know, either you've got nothing to say for half an hour. Or whatever. And I think most of the ones that I enjoy watching aren't forced entertaining. I watched, I think it's possibly initially where I found Timberborn, a guy called Real Civil Engineer.
Right.
And he does a lot of forced entertaining, which sometimes I find really hard going. Sometimes he's quite funny. Sometimes he's forced. Sometimes it's too forced. But he's a former actual engineer who plays YouTube now. You know, plays video games on YouTube. And he entertains. And I think I would, I think doing that for a living would be much harder.
I think you're right, yeah.
But that might just be because that's my personality. If naturally that's what you are, then maybe it's easy.
Yeah, it's true. I just think it's, what was I going to say anyway?
GPS.
So now on Maypole, that we can, we've got GPS.
Yep.
It's, and the VCA as well. We'll use that element of it now. Tell you something, it performs so much better on turns than GPS does.
Are you using the auto shift of turn?
No, but like, you know, on a combine, for instance, if when you do a turn on the end of the row, and if you're not quite lined up with on GPS, it'll wiggle about a bit, and you'll end up missing bits. I just find VCA, it's turned so quickly and gets back online just as quick. I think
the other nice thing with VCA is it's much more natural to set a lower cruise control speed for doing field work. So I think most of the vehicles on there, because a few of us use VCA a lot, will have cruise control set at fieldwork speed. Because you can just hit a button to when you need to cart or whatever to go up to top speed.
Road speed.
And I think that makes a big difference with GPS if when you switch the like in your case the Lime application off or whatever, you don't suddenly accelerate to 30 miles an hour as you're trying to do a quite sharp turn.
I mean, I've knocked it right down just because of learning, but I was quite impressed by that, actually.
I just find it much easier to use. It's like 2 buttons and it's on.
Yeah.
Generally, it's really good at auto setting width.
Yeah.
Generally. And the other, I find it easier to manually set widths on it as well because it works in meters. Whatever units you're on, it works in meters rather than, like to get meters in Wapster's one, you have to be running on kilometers per hour.
Yeah. It relies off the what you've got set in base game, doesn't it?
I find that much easier. If I'm
agreed.
I'm using it on the sugarcane stuff, using it to cart with a forage harvester. So you can manually set the GPS width to the 9 meters of the forage harvester header.
Yeah.
Rather than, having to know what that is in feet.
Amount of times I've gone to do something and it's not picked up the width. It's not right. Google.
Yeah. And then trying to remember that it's 25.6 feet or whatever it is.
And then getting it close enough because you can't get it bang on. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, each have their pluses and the positives and the negatives. But it was just
being able to share the course is really nice.
Yeah, that is a cool feature, actually. Yeah.
I was testing some stuff last weekend and I was trying to do lots of planting in rows of different stuff.
Yeah. And
so I had a tractor with a seeder on the back and a tractor with a planter, and they were both running the same GPS course.
Okay.
And I didn't need to. It just made it look nicer. Which made my brain happier. So, and I don't think VCA has headland mode in it.
Okay.
Whereas you can get guidance steering to stop the vehicle when you reach the headland.
You can, yeah.
I don't think many people use that feature.
No.
And I think I'm struggling to remember. When I did the tutorial on headland management, I think guidance steering integrates better with headland management. I think it almost runs on auto.
Right.
So I think, you just hit go. And I think it's a bit like Millennial Farmer sitting in his tractor.
Yeah.
I think, I can't remember because it's a while since I've used headland management. That's not one that I routinely use. So
I think I had a play with it. I don't even think I was recording then. Just to see what it was like, what it did. I couldn't really get on with it, but I didn't dive into.
Yeah, I spent a few hours getting comfortable with it to record a tutorial on it. And I had it on, or have it maybe on Greenlands. I've had it on ASA.
Yeah.
But it's not one that I naturally think about turning on.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, it's really nice because it automates lifting of implements and stuff.
Yeah, it does the whole shebang.
Yeah, I mean I remember when I was messing around with it for the tutorials, there was some really nice features like it will slow you down. So you can set it to adjust cruise control so that when you say right headland turn, it will drop you down to whatever speed you need to actually make a turn sanely.
Okay.
So it does have a lot of nice features. It might be one that appears on Maypole in the long future.
Okay.
Because once we get into the maybe the 2010s or whatever, it would be something that was an option. So
yeah.
And that adding new stuff every 2 game years is what that's about. So
it is, and it's cool that I think the way you've done it, there are big jumps forward in technology.
This one feels massive.
Yeah.
This one, having auto steer and precision farming working better, both feel huge.
Yeah. And I think as well then that, I know you're not doing it for maximising yields, you're doing it to feed cattle most of the time, aren't you? So
yeah.
it kind of, but it also, your yields go up and every little helps, doesn't it?
It does. And it kind of links back to my talking about whether, things are perfect or not.
Yeah.
And I don't expect that many farmers get things completely perfect, because you can't in the real world.
No, exactly.
You'd have to spend so much on, agronomist fees and stuff.
I think, yeah, it's cool to hear, like, especially the millennial farmer, when he says about, we've done with precision farming and you get do they call it a prescription?
Yeah, I think so.
And how they sort of do that. But yeah, so I guess there's a level of it, but
I've saved a GPS course.
okie dokie. I'm just trying to put this truck back. Oh, hope there's not a collision on that post.
Oh, okay.
Put the cover on. Job's a good one.
Oh, just missed a bit.
You haven't, have you?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. You can pick that track up.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
Where are the toolbars?
They are over by the cowshed. They're between the between the shed next to the cowshed and the road.
Found it. Just need a quad track.
Probably need to grab I know you might have an anhydrous tank as well. You could use your Fent,
And I'm not feeling very slidey.
No, you don't want to go sliding around all the corners.
Not overly.
Maybe we could get you a new tractor with all the money we've got. We could get you a big bud.
Oh yeah. That should have a little bit more stability, shouldn't it?
Yes, it should. We do need something to do the soybean planting with.
Yes.
So
right.
Maybe we can see if they will loan us a pair of big buds for that.
Could be good. What are we set to?
Plus 50 or 60 litres per hectare, depending on which units you would like to use.
Okie dokie. Where am I looking? I need to be on the field, don't I, really?
It would help. You could start making your way over. You could fertilise all the way across the map, but, might slow you down a bit. And the GPS course is called F8 Nitro Bar.
Oh, Nitro Bar.
Yeah, because I forgot that it isn't called nitro, it's called anhydrous ammonia.
No, that's fine. Nitro Bar sounds cool.
It does, doesn't it? And I've got the bit that I missed now, so you can relax.
Excellent.
It'll all be fine, don't worry.
It'll all be good. Right. I can see you turning.
I need to now adjust my GPS speed down. I guess you're behind the hedges.
I have just stopped to pick up the course.
Behind the hedgerows, unlike between the...
Between the rows, yeah.
It's a completely different podcast.
Yes, I quite like the his racing stuff.
I've not watched any of it. I've not watched any. The only bits that I've seen is when he's mentioned it in his main videos. Yeah. To be fair, I haven't watched one of his main videos in quite a while. I think that
yeah, he gone a little bit quiet, but from following him on Facebook, goodness me, they're starting planting now.
Yeah, I see have seen some of the reels that he's posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
But that tends to be all I've seen recently.
Let's have a look. That seems to be working rather nicely.
I can now skip a row.
You can indeed.
Might have been worth me skipping 2 rows, but you know.
Oh well. Oh yeah, might be, but we'll sort it.
Sure, we won't crash too badly.
No, I'm sure it'd be absolutely fine.
Yeah. I could wait for you to catch up, I guess.
Well, how would the fun in that be?
Yeah.
Trying to squeeze past each other here.
Yeah. This will be fine. There's loads of
How's
room.
your little tractor doing on it?
It's fine. My little tractor. I'm gonna
Little chavvy tractor.
I'm gonna wait until we've not crashed into each other.
Hopefully there's no collision. Oh,
Little
kiss.
Little nudge. My little tractor with only 50 less horsepower than yours.
Oh dear.
And then compared to the Fent, it has over 120 more.
Is it really that much?
Yeah, it's 650 nearly.
Oh,
it's a little beast.
Good. It is. Shall I? Oh, that's already done, isn't it? It's just lime.
Yeah, if you skip.
If I go to, I'm on track 3 at the minute.
Okay.
So if I go to 5.
Yeah, and I'll do 4.
Okay. Super duper.
Sounds good. That is another benefit of this GPS.
Yeah, you get track numbers,
and it integrates better with Proceed.
It does.
Which I haven't used in a while. It feels like a while.
I have a video coming out today with me using it again.
Ooh, awesome. It feels like something that I should have on Maypole.
Yeah, I guess the only thing there is with DS Agri.
Yeah, they can't use it.
We can't use it, can we?
No.
Or they. The royal they, we.
Because we know what happens. Well, I remember what happens from when I tried to do that on Calmston. And I got very angry having put really nice tram lines in that the contract wouldn't complete.
Yeah. You'd think, though, that with the amount of margin that the contracts normally give you, I know it's different for smaller fields.
Well, it's quite a big field, but I think it's that the margin on seeding contracts is not that generous.
Oh.
I think they expect you to plant, a good 90-odd% of the field.
I suppose it's mildly realistic, isn't it, really? Yeah. You wouldn't go and do a contract for a farmer and only plant 3/4 of a field.
And it would be interesting to look at the impact on yield. Or from doing this. Someone I did get asked that a few times about how, just how much impact does it have putting the tram lines in?
I guess.
But if you look at a real set of tram lines on a farmer's field, there's no crops growing in them.
Well, yeah.
It's a real thing.
It is. It is indeed. And you know what? I saw on Wardy's Waffle the other week, the one I based my bale bunker off, which is now back in testing, by the way, that they tramline sugar beet.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which I didn't think was a thing for root crops, but
I'm trying to think.
Clearly guessing it is.
I don't remember, because Cow Farmer Dan, they do sugar beet every year.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if they have tram lines in theirs or not.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, because I know, I think it was the oaks when I was planting the sugar beet. I think it was Pete commented
about crashing,
saying that you don't. Well, but there probably was a comment about crashing in there, to be fair. But he said that you don't normally tramline sugar beet, so maybe it's one of these things,
farm to farm variation.
Farm to farm variation, like slow that down. Like headlands versus up and downs, and all that jazz.
Yeah. But the crops near me are pretty well grown in now, and there are some pretty distinctive tram lines.
Yes.
And
I'm just getting on the right track.
I'm on 6.
I was on 6 as well.
I thought you might have been.
Like a noob, I apologise.
If you go across to 8, and then I can pick up 7, so we don't keep crashing into each other.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, and the bit that's much more obvious that we don't generally necessarily have is the entrance to the field is a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. We we're worrying about the loss from putting a few tram lines in. The entrance to all of the fields around here is an utter mess, and the headland yields are appallingly bad.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that would be, I guess you could, if you could mess with a soil map, you could do all of the.
One of the maps that Argsy played on had something like that. I think.
Where all the like one headland was like loam or something.
Yeah, I'm sure it had it that the soil types varied within the field, and maybe that's what they were trying to recreate.
Yeah, you'd want loamy sand or silty clay.
Yeah, really interesting. That would be a nightmare to sit and draw, wouldn't it?
It would. I don't know how easy it is to do, but yeah, be cool though.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? You know how we were talking about OSR and canola and it being poor in the UK? The fields around near me, they look amazing, and there's loads of them. Yeah.
There's normally around here there are loads, and I'm just trying to think. I think there are only 1 or 2.
Okay.
I guess it varies on individual farmers as to whether they still think they can grow it profitably.
Yeah, and it's the risk of it, whether it's destroyed by flea beetles, I suppose, isn't it?
Y Farms, who I follow on Instagram, they're still growing a fair bit, it looks like.
Okay.
So maybe it's much more regional, or just like some of the other stuff, it's farmer dependent as to whether they're going to grow it or not and take the gamble.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah. But now I was like, oh, they look really good. And you get that distinctive smell as well from
I've not been around nearer some of the other farms that are here. But weirdly, although I live not that far out of London, there's quite a lot of farming quite close. But it's a bit of an effort to get to it because it's all kind of farm tracks and single track roads and stuff.
I'm with you. Yeah.
So I've not explored some of the other farms around here. They grow quite a lot of potatoes around here as well.
I've said before, there's quite a few around here. I forget where I was going on Sunday. It went a completely different way to where I'd normally go, and was like quite high up a hill and looking across. And we have some really big fields around here, and it's like I'd forgotten. I've been up there for years, and I was like, blimey, as far as you can see, it looked to be one field. It was
a lot of blimey. We've got a bit of a mixture between sort of medium and then what I would consider for the UK quite large. And I think maybe here there's a kind of like freshwater stream that they can probably pull water from for irrigation because it's always flooded. Which probably makes growing potatoes quite a sensible thing to do. Because it probably helps with the flooding that's constant.
I know what you mean. Especially when we get months like we've had recently as well.
I one of the routes that I go running is along there, and I hadn't been along there in absolutely ages, And I went a couple of weeks ago, and the path was several inches deep.
Sloppy.
I cut through some woods behind it where there isn't a path. But yeah, it was like I either go through it and get very wet, I clamber along the wooden fence which is covered in barbed wire, or I explore through the woods.
Yeah. Off-road.
Yeah, it was quite tempting to go along, just to climb along the hedge or the wooden fence, until I saw just how much barbed wire is in it.
Yeah, you don't need that.
No.
Yeah.
No. Should we get this job finished up and then come back? Because we've been waffling for quite a while at this point.
It's probably a good idea, mate. Yes.
Job done.
I was going to say, that's that done then?
Yep. Ready for some corn in, I guess, April.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll probably be back in April because most of the other fields are okay-ish. And
yeah,
we're planting corn and soybeans, so
yes, we are.
It's going to be a big field of soybeans, field 5.
Massive income.
Yep.
Super duper.
Awesome. Well, I will see you next week.
You will indeed.
Have a good weekend.
And you, mate. Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.